All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is in the cosmos, wherever this video is finding you today. Welcome to Kai Chi Alchemy. You can call me Katchi. This is a space of love, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. I was not gonna do a video this morning because I was headed into work, and then I got to work and I realized that my manager had texted me to let me know that we were super slow today and that they didn't need me until later in the day. So I haven't recorded a video in my car in a long hot minute, and I also my little stand is broken right now, so we're just kind of winging it today. And I felt like maybe this energy was too fresh for me to get into, but because the way that the timing worked out, I just figured I guess we're gonna go with it today. There's so much gold and rainbow and sunlight energy going on here. Gold, rainbow, and sunlight remind me a lot of, like, there's light, there's color, there's something there, but it's almost pointing to something beyond, you know? It's like there's 7 colors in the rainbow, but it's like ultraviolet or something. I think that they also recently found that when they shoot certain lasers into your eyes in a certain way, that they can produce the experience of seeing a color that we're not used to seeing, and we don't have a name for it, and we want to explore that stuff. Hey, Miles. And so it's like being a color that people can't see, if that makes sense. I might have to look it up and post something about that if you're curious. But whether it is ultraviolet light, whether it is a color that nobody has seen and can imagine in their experience, like maybe you were born with a mutation, maybe you have experienced some sort of experience that was like lasers in your eyes. Something happened that resulted in your light, in your frequency, in your energy signature being undetectable. It kind of reminds me of how I personally will be in rooms and people will go, ah, like, where'd you come from? And I've just been sitting there doing my thing the whole time. I don't feel like I'm being particularly quiet or that I'm usually loud, and I'm not, you know? It's just the energy. It's just people don't see me. And then when they do see me, they see something that's not there. It's like when I'm being nice to people, they think that I'm trying to be their friend, that I'm trying to gain favor, that I'm trying to get people's attention, that I'm trying to get reciprocation. And I would not give to people if I was needing reciprocation. I give to people because I enjoy seeing somebody need something and then filling that need because they needed it. And then I feel good because they have a thing that they need. And in fact, I would prefer that they show their gratitude by leaving me alone after that. I'm not trying to get people's attention. And so this isn't like a entirely personal thing. That the other day I brought up some different terms, and one of the first things that came to mind was when people use the term pick me. And that's kind of the energy of this experience of me personally. When people see me but they don't see me, a lot of times it has this kind of energy to it. Like, they see words and actions, they hear things, and they interpret it the way that they would interpret it with everybody else. And I don't treat anybody like that. I never make assumptions. Like, I feel like that's almost violence in a sense. Um, and why? I guess it's like efficiency or something like that. I don't know. And people want to protect themselves, so they want the pattern recognition. I get that. I do that too, just in different ways, you know? So I'm not mad at it, but it's like literally if somebody will use a term like that, if you would use, like for example, if you would use a term like pick me, then that is expressing that you only are kind to people and interact with people because you want something out of them. If you are calling somebody a pick me, if you're using that terminology to have a conversation about anybody, then that reflects your worldview that people do things because they want control over you, they want something from you. And so instead of just getting disgusted and frustrated and annoyed at people for speaking this way, and usually I'll have that experience, I'll feel disgusted. And I'm so used to packing that away and continuing on and trying to keep the conversation going. I had somebody the other day trying to talk to me about, like, why do you talk to this person? They have done things that are not very nice to you. And I was like, they apologized. I set boundaries. Like, I I'm not attached one way or the other. I'm gonna be nice to them, not because I want to be their friend, not because I want anything out of them, because I want to be nice to them. And I just feel like I'm speaking Chinese and I don't know how to connect with people when they are moving and thinking and speaking in ways that create such disgust in me. And so I've had this experience throughout my life where I'll put myself in situations and I'll continue to enable these situations to continue being this way, where I am surrounded by people who I am disgusted by, and they can sense that, and they want to figure it out. And so they're trying to pin something on me of like why they shouldn't like me. And it's because I don't like them. But I don't feel entitled to not like people because everybody either dislikes me or they like me because of things that are wrong, that are not true, that are not who I am, which is even worse. It feels way worse to be loved for things that you are not than to have somebody just not be down with you. You know what I mean? Oh, there's so many comments that we'll get to in a second. Why Lady Martina 7766? I don't understand when people ask, "What are you talking about?" and these very vague questions. Um, I just need more specifics. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, and I don't know what I'm talking about until it comes out. Anyways, like some people in this chat, I will let them stay there. I don't understand them. I don't feel like aligned with the energy. I don't feel like they're necessarily a part of this collective, but I'm not going to aggressively boot people out of my space unless they very directly disrespect my autonomy or somebody else around me or whatever. You know what I mean? That's so funny. I was just talking about disgust, and then we got somebody in the chat called Disgusting Clan. Yeah. I guess yesterday was the Hermit Clan, the Hermit tribe, whatever. This is this is gonna be the Disgust Clan. Um, okay. So I feel like this experience of constantly dealing with this disgust around people and feeling the need to have to hide it comes from the fact that if you don't agree with people, then they will attack you. And I guess you need to put yourself in situations where you're not surrounded by people who disgust you, but there's you gotta work, you gotta live, you gotta eat, sometimes you gotta do certain things. And so it was funny to me that the person that was asking me, why do you interact with this person? Why do you talk to this person if they are treating you in a way that is wrong? And I was like, I don't think that they're treating me in a way that is wrong. I might disagree with the way that they're treating me, and I will let them know that. But I feel like they have every right to do and say whatever it is that they want, as long as they're not harassing, assaulting, pressuring, guilting, stealing. Like, there's very few things that I think of as you need to be put away in a corner, locked up in a closet, like you're a bad person. I don't think like that, and I never have, and I don't think it's productive, and I don't think it's helpful, and I don't think it's healthy. But it was funny that she was saying, why do you interact with this person if this is their behavior and this behavior is bad? Because I'm like, what you're doing right now, in my mind, is bad. It disgusts me, it upsets me, and I am choking that back to be sociable, to be in a common space. Same thing with this other person, except I actually kind of get along with them a little bit better. And so the projection that happens when it's hard for people to see you for what you are is so much greater. I mean, it happens everywhere all the time, but it's so much greater. It's so much more frequent, I feel, for this group of people. If people can't see you, if you're a different color, you kind of turn into a black mirror, right? And it's cool because it's good to reflect things back to people. And they may or may not see it, they may or may not take it. That's up to them. But I think the point is just if you feel like gold, if you feel like a rainbow, if you feel like ultraviolet, if you feel like this weird color that we've discovered that human beings generally can't see, if you feel like this thing that people look at and they look through, it's okay to feel frustrated by that experience. But it's also like a benefit and a service that you're offering to the world and something that you yourself can learn and grow from. And so I think that it's very important for people to maintain that perspective because it will help you move without trying to soften and hide the fact that people can't see you. I kind of wish that this interaction had happened a lot sooner because I always felt something was off, but because I was trying to smooth things over socially and protect myself a little bit, I never really got to the point of understanding how they really felt and thought and how disgusted I was by that thought process. And so, I get frustrated walking around in the world being objectified, not just by men, but by the women in my life who have to see me as something that I'm not in order to like make the stories in their head that they've already told themselves make sense. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull some cards from the only deck that I have with me since I am in my car out in the world and I rarely do this. It feels a little ungrounded. And I want to make sure to be able to tap into this energy from a fairly clean space. So I'm going to have everybody to do a brief one breath meditation here. You can put your hand on your heart and or your belly. You can pause at the top if you'd like. Spirit, what does this collective today need to hear, see, think, feel? What do they need to ask themselves? What do they need to experience? And how can they move through this experience with the greatest positive impact on themselves and their surroundings. Okay, well, right off the bat, we got Five of Swords, Queen of Swords, Mistletoe, and Lady Slipper. I don't know that much about Lady Slipper. Let me know in the comments if you do. Do you know that the Jedi need you? Yes, I know the Jedi need me. That's why we're here. Thank you for being here. May the Force be with you. Um, the the Force abides. May the dude be with you. All of that. Okay. So Queen of Swords, Five of Swords. You see this guy? And he's like trying to fight. He's got two swords and another one in his hand. And these guys drop their swords. They're walking away. They're hanging their heads. They're disappointed. They're frustrated. They're disgusted. Right? Okay. They're walking away. The Queen of Swords is just like, she's a truth teller. And she's gonna say it how it is. And she doesn't really care if it offends you or if it provokes any kind of like fear or defensiveness or anything like that. She is gonna say what she needs to say. And this person is doing what they need to do, I guess, or what they want to do. But these people don't want to. You don't play nice. You don't play right. I don't like this. I don't want to be a part of this. And so, in being really direct and honest about, well, we'll get into that a little bit, but I think like about your disgust, about your position, about your feelings, about your beliefs, you may feel like you're rocking the boat. You may feel like you're upsetting yourself. You may feel like you're putting a target on your back, right? Yeah, there's a target on these guys' backs. Like, he is looking at these people like he wants to fight them, but they're walking away, and he's looking at their backs. And if he wanted to, he could run up there and stab them in the backs. But they're not going to keep fighting with him just to prevent that from happening. They're going to do their best to leave because they're like, why would you be in this energy of combat and competition and defensiveness? Bye. So you're going to not only take yourself out of these situations easier, you're not only going to create these kind of tower moments where you are able to get people to remove themselves from your life when they're wanting to put a knife in your back and all of that, when they're wanting to be competitive and defensive and us versus them and black and white thinking, you know? He's got three swords in his hands. He's giving Three of Swords, like the heartbreak card, like pain. Like they're a walking Three of Swords, just ready to cause heartbreak in anybody who doesn't agree with them. And so you have truth, but you also tolerate, you're not fighting anybody. You're just standing in your truth over here, and they're over here doing their own thing, and you respect their ability to do that. This person feels almost like upset, entitled. He's like waiting for these people to come back. Don't they know they're supposed to come back here and do this? It's an expectation. It's an entitlement. It's a misunderstanding. It's a delusion. Mistletoe. There may be some element here with the Three of Swords and the mistletoe about like romantic relationships. This may or may not like be a romantic person in your past, or may not be some kind of pattern you experience there. Or, I also find that there's a lot of weird, like the concept of homosocial, like whether literally down low or just like I'm seeking the approval of my dudes and usually my daddy or something. I'm seeking the approval of the guys in my life more than the women that I am romantically interested in. And that leads to a lot of fragmentation and violence and just manufactured consent and all kinds of nastiness. And so I understand why people are icked out by that. It's icky. But there's absolutely a homosocial element in women. It's like they see, oh, there's these boys clubs and they're evil, which I agree. So the solution to the boys clubs is to make girls clubs. But it's like you're either with us or you're against us. And so you can only be a girl's girl or a guy's girl or a guy's guy or a girl's guy. Like, because they take this black and white competitive, defensive, bitter stance because of the experiences that they've had with their mother or their father, with their friends or their lovers, and they just start projecting that onto everything, and they want to surround themselves with people who blow smoke up their butt and believe exactly what they believe. And these are the same people that'll come to me and say things about me being in an echo chamber when I'm literally surrounding myself with people that disgust me. And so again, it's you can go from being frustrated and annoyed to being like, oh, thank you. This is so wonderful to have people just directly telling me what they think. I remember I had this guy at work that was trying to start something with me, and I was confused about it, and I started talking to my ex about it, and he was like, oh yeah, like he was probably just trying to get into your pants. Like in a way where he was making assumptions, probably, right? I don't care. That's not the point. The point is that he was telling me how he viewed men. And he had friends and he loves men and he has that homosocial element in him. And so if you're telling me about how you view men, then you're telling me how you view yourself and you're telling me how you're treating me. If you're telling me how you think he sees me, you're telling me how you see me. If you think that he's using me and objectifying me, you are using me and you are objectifying me. And I would avoid that kind of advice for so long where people would say when people are projecting stuff onto you, they're giving these admissions of guilt. Like they're telling you what they're doing. And I have people make assumptions about me all the time. And so I don't want to do that to other people. But that's a certain level of disassociation that is an attempt to protect myself. And so maybe people couldn't see this color before, but I think that they're starting to be able to, especially in this like shift over from Capricorn into Aquarius, Pluto. It's some big shift recently moving over into Aquarius. And so it's like you weren't in power, you weren't integrated into the understanding of everybody. But now we're focusing on like this egalitarian, inclusive energy. And so we're starting to understand and pull in and process more different kinds of energy frequencies and different kinds of people and different kinds of worldviews and different, you know? And so some people are resistant to that and they're not gonna move forward and grow, but then they're gonna be at a disadvantage in this new world that we're creating. And then some people are starting to see you. It's like an apparition. It's like you see a ghost in front of you. It's like you see something materializing in front of you. You'd be freaked out, right? Like you've never experienced that before. And that is the feeling that I get when I'm in a room and so people don't know I'm there. And then all of a sudden they're like, ah, where did you come from? Because I didn't come from the direction they were expecting. And then they see something that they're expecting to come from over there. but it came from over there, and their brain breaks. But they're like, I do see it. And so people either buckle down, they ignore, they stop seeing, they make up stories, or they start asking questions. Okay? So this person that is working hard on being more direct and being more honest and allowing these situations to reveal themselves and to work themselves out, even though it may bring tension in the beginning, it brings learning and it brings a better experience overall. What does this person need to focus on right now in order to assist this process of moving in a new way? You're an old energy. You're an energy that has been around for a while. You've been this ultraviolet ray for a while, but it's like you're moving in a different way now. And what is that way? So that we can expedite this process, so that we can minimize the people with the three swords behind your back. Something about twos may be significant. 222 may be significant. These are coming out in twos right now for whatever reason. Four of Cups, Burdock, and Ace of Cups, Lotus. These are both arguably culinary plants, edible. You can eat lotus. You can eat burdock. Burdock is good for your liver. Lotus, I'm not really sure what that's good for, but I know you can eat it. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is the Four of Cups is generally kind of a feeling of dejected, detached. You're on the other side of the water from these cups, and you're looking at them kind of longingly or disappointedly, that's really not, I have all this, but I don't really want this. I don't really like this. I don't really feel aligned with this. And you're focusing on how you don't feel aligned with this and how you're disgusted by it. And maybe you're holding all of that inside. She's kind of sitting quiet, alone, contemplative. And she's just looking at all of these connections, all of this emotion. It's 3 cups down here. So that's 3 of cups. It's kind of Gemini energy, social environments, right? Trying to smooth things socially, trying to be pro-social, trying to be in public environments and just use that structure, go through those motions, and you may have to move in a way that's kind of disingenuous to even step out your front door sometimes, to even buy things and do things and make things happen in your life. And so it's not like you're deeply disingenuous as a person. It's just you're looking at all of these things that you don't like, that don't align with you. Maybe you don't drink and these are all full of wine. Something like that. Maybe you're a vegan and these are all full of blood. There's something off here. But you can't say that, you can't knock all these over. You can't destroy it. You can't, you wouldn't want to. It's not very nice. So you're just kind of taking your space. You're just kind of sitting back from it. You're just observing. You're observing the people and the environments that you're in, but feeling kind of on the other side of the glass from it, right? And I guess I was asking, how do you need to move and shift in order to expedite this process and ensure that the environments you're in are transforming it more and more into environments that are mutually beneficial? You need to have this detachment, be able to look at these environments and these situations that you have to take yourself through at work, in the marketplace, with the government, with use the streets, like whatever you're doing out in the world, in places and within systems that you don't necessarily support or agree with, but you really don't have anything else, like any other options right now, you have a little bit of detachment. You're not fighting it, right? You're not running away from it. You're not really ignoring it. It's just like a certain level of detachment. And right now she's still looking over here. You may be a little bit hyper focused on that feeling because right now you are constantly in environments that make you feel like you're on the other side of the glass, and you have to maneuver a little bit to even be able to survive here, to even be able to get through here. But eventually she's going to see this cup because she does have a certain level of detachment, and she's going to get bored of looking at these cups because there's nothing she can do about it. She's not going to change them, and she doesn't like them. So look away from that, and eventually she will. And that cup is this cup. And that cup is, you see that hand? It's like the hand of God. So oh yeah. Okay, so you develop a certain level of detachment from these environments to the degree where you're not even trying to hide yourself. You're not trying to run away, and you're not trying to attack them. You're just being what you are, kind of loudly, but off in the corner. You let them react any way that they would like to, because your focus is going to come up here whenever you show that you have the ability to not hide and to not attack and to not need to prove yourself and not to need to over explain yourself and to just let people be wrong about you. That's when God's going to come in here and give you this Ace of Cups, this emotional fulfillment, this peace, this equanimity, this calm, this redemption, this emotional transformation, this emotional independence, this abundance. What is this abundance that's coming in for this collective? Spirit, please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. What is the nature of this abundance? Water energy, sacral energy, emotional energy, love, connection, more aligned connections. Right, you have to set yourself apart without just doing it to receive something more aligned. You will receive something more aligned, but you have to do it because it's just the right thing. To not attack and to not hide yourself and to hold the tension of that. I get the sense you might be very tired. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all of it, maybe. Different messages for different people. I swear that there was a card that just flipped over. Where did it go? Okay. Interesting. Well, we got Three of Pentacles, which is teamwork. Yeah, teamwork. Working together. Ace of Cups, Chariot, Cancer energy, family, teamwork, family, alignment. People you can work together with because they can understand and empathize with your nature easily. Because they understand your nature. And Here we had 3 cups that you were looking at, that you had to make a decision to stand up for yourself around, to speak your truth, to be yourself, to not run away, to not attack. But to acknowledge, I don't like these 3 cups. The 3 of Cups, the card can be third-party situations, which is not necessarily just cheating. It's like people not being autonomous. It's like people having their mother or their friend or their group of something, their mentor, their boss, somebody in their ear that's capable of influencing them against other people. It's like this energy of like triangulation. It's this energy of like emotional manipulation. It's just like the language that they speak. It's just like the air that they breathe. It's just what they do. And you don't fault them for that exactly. You believe that they have the right to do that, and you have shown that in practice by not running away, not hiding yourself, not attacking. But through that process, you've also recognized, I don't understand this. I don't align with this. I don't like this. I don't want to be a part of this. And so when you set that boundary, you make that space, God does come in with this new energy, this new love energy. And that doesn't have to be romantic. That could be soul family. That could be like a work project that is really like meaningful and deep. It's like a humanitarian thing. It's like a I want to change the world with you thing. Something that requires teamwork. But these people, this isn't the 3 of Cups, this is the 3 of Pentacles. These people are grounded. These people are practical. These people are logical, but also not detached from their body and their emotions, you know? They're grounded in themselves. They're grounded in reality, and they're not swayed by emotional manipulation. It's kind of irrelevant to them. And so they're able to plant seeds, and those seeds don't get totally washed away by an excessive amount of water or water in the wrong place, you know? It's giving like swamp, like stagnation. And water's not really supposed to be swampy and stagnant. That was this energy. These are just sitting here. The liquid in these cups are just sitting in those cups. This water's flowing, and you're by the water flowing because you like flowing water, but you don't like this stagnant water. You're kind of weirded out by the stagnant water. You're kind of grossed out by the stagnant water. But these people can be still without getting putrid. In fact, when they're still, they are dark, they are quiet, they go underground by themselves, and they go into their own world, into their own space, and they grow and they transmute and they solve problems and they plant roots and they bust through the soil and they become this beautiful gentian flower or all of these crops in this farm. And yeah, exactly. So this is the type of energy, the type of environment, the type of person that you are drawing into your life by setting these boundaries, by refusing to hide yourself and refusing to attack those who disagree with you, by allowing people to be wrong about you, not over explaining yourself, but also not hiding yourself as much as you possibly can, being compassionate with yourself through this process, through this transformation. That's going to allow you to continue. It's going to allow you to sustain this transformation. So this is chosen. This is who you choose. This is the energy that you align with, that you want in your life, that is going to be mutually beneficial. And so you've acknowledged this 3 of Pentacles, this teamwork. This might even be a workplace. So maybe you're changing jobs. Or maybe you're changing homes. You're moving forward, though. You're moving forward somewhere new. And because this Chariot card is related to Cancer and to family. Oh, and I also feel like this is going to be especially relevant for y'all during Cancer season, which we have coming up in maybe next week. This is highly pertinent for many of the people in this collective right now. Maybe you're changing jobs, changing homes, changing environments, changing institutions, organizations, structures right now. And, Cancer is about family. It's about emotional fulfillment. It's about somewhere that you can actually stay for the long haul. It works no matter what's going on. A crab, a Cancer crab, the Chariot is like the shell of the Cancer crab. You can pick yourself up and take your home with you wherever you go. No matter what happens, y'all are going to stay aligned because your structure is not dependent upon the stability around you. The structure of a crab is hard and it's there and it's protective and it is what it is, but then it swims through the water, right? The flowing water. And the crab's shell is not impacted in any way by the waves and the things beating up against it and flowing up against it. It moves with the water. But it also moves a weird way. It walks all sideways, and some people look at it and they're like unsettled by that crab walk situation for some reason because they're so used to that linear thing. So you're going to move in an unexpected manner. You're going to make a sideways move. You might surprise certain people, but those people aren't crabs like you. Those are, I don't know, kids on the beach. They're not like you. And that's okay. But you can't try to go eat hot dogs with them on the beach. You're a different animal. And so you need to accept that and go back to the flowing water where your people are, where your little family of crabs is. Where your little family of crabs is. This reminds me of a post I made on Instagram. Time to lose control. There's like a poem in there. Yeah, there's a poem in there where I talk about some people are like a balm and some people are like a flower. Some people are like a balm. They look fun. They have 3 swords inside of them. They're looking at you like a threat. And they could go off at any moment. And some people are like a flower. There's like this smoke right here. Balm. Flower. And what I was saying there was that some people have a hard structure, like a plant. It has a hard structure. It's got a thick skin, but it's squishy inside, like a crab. Like a flower or a tree or a plant has this plant blood inside of it, right? And you cut it or you smush it and it breaks. and it's delicate. So you need to respect it and you need to protect it. It's soft inside. But the bomb, it looks shiny. And when you touch it, just the right or wrong way, it explodes and it blows your hands apart. So things are not always what they seem. Clearly, that's kind of been the whole theme of this entire reading. And it works both ways, it works all kinds of ways. But particularly for this group of people, you may have felt really isolated and alone and frustrated for a really long time. But that was because you were trying to protect yourself from all these forces around you that were looking at you like a threat. That were looking at you like something they didn't understand. So you were a threat. They were looking at you from the eyes of a bomb. But because you focused on that, because you attacked them, maybe some of you, or because you avoided and you maneuvered so that you could bypass their attacks and their attention, that was keeping you stuck there. These aren't the only kinds of people that exist in the world, but they're the only kinds of people that you were drawing into your world because it's what you were focused on. And once you learn how to look at something with detachment, the way that you would like for them to look at you with detachment, even when you are tempted to be reactive towards being viewed as a threat and treated as a threat, that is when this flowing water, you can dip your toe in, kind of getting the star here, and it'll take you to this greater water feature, you know? Like this is a little stream. This is this big lake over here. And you're going to realize there's so much more flowing water. You felt like you almost had to keep these around because what if you get really thirsty or something? You're a human being. You don't want to have to drink blue. You don't want to have to drink wine. You don't want to have to drink whatever it is that you don't like. Gatorade, pickle juice. Like, you don't want that. But what if you need it because this flowing water is drying up right here? There's not a lot of it. It hasn't rained in forever. I have to keep the stagnant water here. What if I need it? There's some survival part of you that does that, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't hide yourself and you wouldn't attack them. So when you learn to be okay walking away without walking away, then those people and places and things will walk away from you. And then these aligned people, places, and things will come up on you. And I forget what culture it is. I think perhaps a Native American tribe of some sort, where they talk about instead of viewing the world as me moving through the world and I'm walking along this path, it's like I am the world and I am drawing my experiences towards me. And that is the experience that you are going to have in the near future moving forward. And you're going to go from having 3 cups that you feel disgusted by to this judgment, this change being made in your life because you proved that you're ready for it and that you are willing to treat other people truly the way that you would like to be treated. You will have this independence and this self-sufficiency emotionally. Like, you don't need those 3 cups. You are 9 cups. And you are of flowing water. So maybe this is even like a fountain or something. You can do whatever you want to with these 9 cups. Those other people had to stay over there doing whatever they're going to do. And you're looking at them. Why are you looking at them? Look ahead. Look forward. Don't look behind you. Don't look at the people that are side-eyeing you. You got it. You always had it. But in order to really recognize the Nine of Cups within you, inherent within you, you had to kind of have God show you first. See, this isn't stagnant water. This is an infinite well. This is a chalice that is just overflowing, that's like generating its own water. This is like a spring. This is like a living spring. And the lotus is the representation, the symbol of growing up out of the mud, growing up out of the stagnation, growing up out of the darkness, growing up out of the struggle. And you're about to be, I don't love the word, but rewarded. For simplicity's sake. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And when you realize this infinite well that is within you because God gifted it to you in exchange for your challenging inner work and the action that you've taken in your life to become more aligned, those flowers turn into berries. Some of them. And you can start kind of reaping the rewards of all of this flowing water that has been all over your fields. You have infinite water, you have infinite fertility, you have people by your side that don't need you, that want you, that are stable, that are secure, that are independent, and that love working together. You're going to get to continue to water that, and it will continue to grow, and you will have more flowers, and you will have more berries, and you will have more sprouts, and you will have more seeds. Maybe you will make new seeds, with these people. I think it'll look very different for all of y'all. I think I really would love to get into some narrative storytelling, maybe some love readings and stuff, because I feel like we were getting really deeply into scripting and stuff recently. And I know some people struggle really hard with like figuring out and verbalizing what it is they really want and what it is they really feel and what it is they really think. And I find that tarot can be really helpful for that, because you watch somebody talk about a scenario and you go, yep, that's me. Nope, that's not me. And maybe you didn't even think about it in those words before. I spent so much time just zip it. And I didn't talk about my thoughts and feelings so much. And sometimes in my journals, that would be a way to flesh that out. But it didn't really feel important. Nobody cared about what I was thinking and saying. And so it got so stuck inside of me that I didn't really know how to express it anymore. I didn't really know how to talk about it anymore. And so I'll have a lot of times people look at me sharing things from other people, and they'll think, oh, you were exposed to this influence, and then you changed, and then you followed this person, and then. But I actually had these feelings and these beliefs before. I hid them because I was attacked for them. And then I decided I wanted to try and speak up and try to speak my truth. And I was so cat got the tongue that I had to find other people to express it in their words so that I could start learning how to express my truth, because that was stolen from me. Every time I would try to be honest, people would tell me that's not true, that's not right, you shouldn't think that, you shouldn't say that. And so I developed a personality that was just like a for performance. It wasn't real. And nobody likes that energy. They want you to be genuinely what they want you to be, but if that's not who you are and that's can't be who you are, that's an issue. And so, yeah, it was very much not that I got trapped by an algorithm or influenced by an influencer. It was that I am finally committed to saying what I actually think and feel. And sometimes it helps to have other people give me options, new ideas about how to express that. 5555 on the clock. 5555 on the clock. So, we'll get into that soon. I would like to do that now, but I have a client coming up and I gotta get to that. And it's been almost an hour. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I look forward to doing this again next time, and I'm going to read through these comments right now. There's a freaking crazy amount, so I will probably not get to all of them, but worth trying. Smell, see, eat, color. Energy been better today. Pick me. We all just NPCs with extra steps. Yes. Hello. This one time at band camp. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are weird. I don't have any kids. No. Good afternoon. Our ego does get weird and in the way. That's why we always come back here all the time. Yep. Weak, Georgia. Then he's from Weak, Georgia. My father is from Weak, Georgia, the nitpicking state. Anybody else from Georgia? Can you confirm or deny that? You have to tell somebody that is harassing you. Exactly. That's why I was so frustrated, because she was like, why do you deal with this person who's harassing you? And I was like, I don't think they're harassing me by my definition of harassing, where they do something and you tell them to stop and they keep doing it. They have not done that. You are harassing me. Well, maybe I haven't told you to stop. So you have to tell somebody if they're harassing you, but they're not if you don't tell them to stop. Kind of in line with this whole message, right? When I started realizing many are just soulless vessels, or at least don't understand how we understand, it's like maybe we should focus on those who actually are willing to help themselves and hear. Yeah, exactly. It's like we have all of these seeds that have just been sitting there, like getting closer to their expiration date. And we could have been gardening them together this whole time. But we felt so compelled to explain ourselves and to fit into these environments and to make these people comfortable and to be seen by people who can't see us. Damn, girl, were your parents artists? Actually, my parents ended up getting into more professional careers for, they had kids, money and stuff. But my dad wanted to be a writer. He is. And my mom wanted to be a dancer. So in a manner of speaking, my dad wanted to be a writer. My mom wanted to be a dancer. So I decided to be both. Be kind to yourself and pray every day with God, with rawness and complete honesty. Start to meditate every day and realize it's okay to be not perfect. Just keep trying. If you don't try, you tell yourself you don't care enough to love yourself. Every day is a new day to try or not. Yeah. Hello, Artie Salve. I don't know who the heck Frank is. And as far as I know, nobody's ever cheated on me. I mean, I don't know nothing, but I don't know. Hello, do you know that the Jedi need you? Oh, I read that one. I stay away from relationships for 3 years. Seems more head frock than it's worth nowadays with modern mindsets. Exactly. I was watching a love reading the other day and she was like, there's all these words coming through, but none of them make sense, and like soulmate and twin flame and all this stuff people say, and karmic. None of it is right. None of it makes sense. It's like a love that doesn't exist anymore. It's like there's no context for it in this time. It's so hard for me to get out the words of what I'm trying to say. I feel like that is kind of this soul family vibe here. Yeah. Weakness of the flesh is a truly futile and frustrating, confusing thing. I like direct women too, Artie. Oh, later, Miles. Thank you. Yeah, my hair's freaking crazy today because, well, it's a long story. Um, it's a long story. I don't care. I think I got death the last time. Oh, did I do a card pull for you? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, let me block this guy. I've totally missed that. He's just coming on here hating on divination for some reason. I don't know why. More spam. Okay. And doesn't mean your god is any more real. How much you come off on your high horse. What the frick are you even talking about? I don't know what this is. Okay. Don't be mean to each other in the comments. That's not helpful. I am not a nurse. Budweiser is God's favorite beer. It only uses holy water. Yeah, what do you think are in those cups? What does that mean to you? Yeah, Scorpio affects everything. Are you a Scorpio sun? Ooh, 15-year separation. Oh, that can be rough. Hmm. No, I am not gay. I've never been gay. I mean, I don't know. That means happy, right? And I mean, oh, there's so many conversations to be had there. But I have a feeling that that's kind of abusive, silly person. Let's see. I didn't know you weren't reading comments live. Oh, it's okay. Say whatever you need to say. Again, don't, try to hide it. Don't try to attack me. That's all. Hmm. He said, wait. Like a minute after I sent that pickup line, you were saying how you were being objectified. That's when I said, "Oh shit, bad timing." LOL. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not upset at people for objectifying me. I'm a human being. I objectify people. I struggle with that too. Like I'm just saying, life's frustrating sometimes. I know my teeth look freaking crazy in this lighting right now. November 17th. That's Sagittarius, right? No, Scorpio. Yeah. Hello. Okay, I caught up with all of the comments. I do have to go. Should have left a while ago, but thank you for being here. Love, light, peace, and personal responsibility, and I will see you next time. Boop.